Now then guys, how you doing? I'm Craig and thank you for joining me on another Tactical Masterclass where we're using one of the better teams in the game. Saying that though, Juve have an absolute shocker this season. But yeah, we're going to use Paulo Dybala and we're going to lock him into that false 9 role. And that is a role where he's predominantly the deepest of a front three. So we're going to play that 4-3-3, we're going to lock Dybala in and we're going to see what happens. Right, so here we go then guys, we have got this 4-3-3, it's quite a bog standard one that's fairly narrow and we're going to play a custom tick-attacker on a positive mentality. So I'll talk through the individual instructions for each position now. With Chesney in goal, who's a sweeper keeper on support, he's got one individual instruction, which is to tackle harder, and the instruction that's part of his role is to take more risks. We've got a complete win-back on attack in Alexandro, who's got one individual instruction, which is to aim crosses to the centre, and the instructions that are part of his role is to dribble more, run wide with the ball, cross more often, cross from the byline, get further forward, stay wider, and roam from position. And Daniela's got the exact same instructions out on that right-hand side. We've then got Chiellini, who's playing as a centre-back on cover. Now I'm not expecting much from this guy, so I've asked him to take fewer risks. He has got to shoot less often and dribble less instruction as well. With Bonucci playing as the ball playing defender on defend. Again, I'm not asking too much from him, just 2 role instructions, take more risks and hold position. Then we come to the box-to-box in the centre of my midfield 3, and that is Bentaker on this occasion. He's got one individual instruction, and that is to dribble more, and he's also being asked to roam from position. He's playing as the box-to-box on support. We've then got a Mazzala on each side. Out on that left-hand side, we've got Rabiot at the minute, who's playing as a Mazzala on support. No individual instructions. Instructions for his role are to get further forward, stay wider, move into channels and roam from position. And Locatelli has got the exact same thing out on the right hand side. So then we come to Dybala. Now he's going to play as that false 9 on support. He's got 2 individual instructions, and that's to shoot more often and roam from position. And instructions for his role is to dribble more and take more risk. So I'm expecting Dybala to come down here. That's where I want him. Now when we look at the description of the role, it says the false 9 in some ways, similar to a more advanced attacking midfielder playmaker role. He's an unconventional lone striker or centre forward who drops deep into midfield. Now I'm not playing him like that, because the way I'd probably go with that would be to bring Chiesa down to there and Morata down to there as well, and play like more of a Christmas tree formation. That's not the way we're going to go, as then Dybala would drop into the midfield as well, and we'd more or less end up with a full strikerless formation. So like I said at the start of the video, Dybala will play as a deeper of the front 3. And then we've got Morata out on that left-hand side with a stay wider individual instruction. And then for his role, get further forward, move into the channels. He's playing as an advanced forward on attack. And so is Chiesa. And he's got the exact same instruction. So that's the way we're going to play. We're playing that positive mentality. And in position, we're going to play fairly narrow. On the approach play, we're going to work out the defence and play through the middle. Passing directness is much shorter, tempo is slightly lower, and we never time waste. In the final third, we work the ball into the box, we play for set pieces, and we dribble less. In transition then, we counter press when possession has been lost, and we hold shape when we've won the ball back. Goalkeeper distributes quickly and he distributes to the centre-backs. And then out of possession, we're going to play a kind of condensed formation where we play a much higher defensive line, a high line of engagement, and we use the offside trap. And then as far as set pieces go on corners, we're just going to play the bog standard defensive tactic on each side. But then attacking, we're going to play to the near post on both sides. Throw-ins, as always, will be long throws into the box, both left and right. So competitions-wise, then we're in the Serie A, the Italian Cup, the Italian Super Cup, and the Champions League. Like I say, in the real world, Juve are having a bit of a shocker at the minute. So for me, it's all about getting this team to perform to expectations. There's already been 2 games played. Inter and Napoli have both got 3 points on the board. And I am just interested to see what the season preview is before we start. So I'm expected to win the league at 2-1. Right. Okie doke. So then, we're going to simulate forward. And we're going to see how Dybala gets on as the false 9. And hopefully, you know, I haven't let everybody down, myself down. And, or even worse, lost my job before the end of the experiment. So that's the season over then, guys, and we have finished top of the league. I don't know what Allegri's doing because we have absolutely bossed it. 98 points on the board, 17 points clear of AC Milan in second place. 38 games played, 31 wins, 5 draws, 2 losses, 107 goals scored, 32 goals conceded, 75 goal difference, 98 points on the board. We've well and truly bossed that. And I'm happy to see that Venezia has survived, finishing in 16th place. Looking at competition performance, we won the Serie A, we were knocked out in the semi-final of the Italian Cup by Napoli, we finished runner-up in the Super Cup, and in Champions League we were knocked out by Manchester City in the quarter-final. So everywhere else it's been a shambles, but in the league we've well and truly dominated. So looking at player performance then, the most goals in the Serie A was Vlahovic with 32, Morata with 30, Dybala with 26 and Chiesa with 23. So we've scored plenty of goals from our front three men. Most assists was Dybala with 18, Luis Alberto with 13 was in second place. Most player of the match performances in the league was Dybala, that's 4 more than Veretout. And clean sheets wise, 2 players, 23 clean sheets for Szczesny. So overall team performance fantastic. Individual performance is good as well. When we look at those in figures and player stats wise, top goal scorer was Morata with 37 goals. Highest average rating was Dybala with 7.69. He had the most assists as well with 22, so he is bossing it. Best pass completion is Chiellini with 99%. Most player of the match awards goes to Dybala with 13. What an absolute boy. Had a great season. The false 9 has worked incredibly well. Team stats wise, we've got 107 goals, which was the best. We conceded 32, which was the 3rd best. Yellow cards, we got 59, which was the 7th best. And 2 red cards, 8th worst. But what about Dybala then? Obviously, he was playing as that false 9, dropping deeper into the pitch, where he scored 26 goals, 38 starts, 18 assists though, and 12 player of the match performances. His average rating was a 7.8, which is unbelievable. In the Champions League, 10 starts, 4 goals, 4 assists as well. He has been tearing it up, and that is his best season at Juve. In his career, in fairness, 22 goals in the 2017-18 season was his best, but 38 starts, 26 goals, 18 assists, 12 player of the match performance. And like I say, the reason that we chose him is his stats for the position. Like when we have him highlighted, dribbling 18, finishing 15, first touch 19. Technically, mentally and physically, he's a very, very good player. Technically, obviously, he's got to be one of the best on the game. Passing 17, technique 19, vision 17, flair, agility, balance, acceleration, yes, they're on the decline now, but he's still 28-year-old. But what a player. So I think the false 9 has worked well. Now, tactically, you may not use it this way. Now, the false 9, like I said before the break, was to be played up front by himself and drop a little bit deeper. I think this tactic has caused so much carnage with the 3 up front, because Dybala will just drop into that position in the gap between the front 3 and the midfield, and that is what you're after. So looking at the general performance of the team then, we've absolutely dominated for goals, as we've seen just earlier. 2.82 goals per game, with the average goal per game for every other Serie A team being 1.35. Shots per game, 20 shots a game. Pass completion, 91%. Tackles won, 84%. Our XG was 2.37. The average for the league was 1.27. So we've bossed it as a team performance again. When we look at our assists for forwards, look at Dybala up there by himself. Highly creative, high assister. That's the most clear one that I've had so far through any of these tactical masterclasses. Look at how far away he is from anybody else. And scoring is up there as well. Again, high scoring, high quality shooting. Who is that up there? Oliver Giroud. Look at the state of that. That is absolutely mental that he's up there. He's basically at the peak, Giroud. But yeah, Dybala, what a player. This has worked a treat. Now individually then, looking at Dybala, that says it all, doesn't it? That purple half circle, which is basically the top of everything, shows how well he has done in that position. And then when you look at our average possession with the ball, Dybala, while he's not the deepest, Morata is most certainly leading the line with Chiesa on the other side. So, playing as the pitch, it's a very tight midfield, as you'd expect. We've got some decent wide wing-backs there as well. But the formation's set up quite well. He's not as deep as I would have liked. However, the results speak for themselves, so that is it then, guys. I think this one's been a decent one. Dybala, like for many of you, may not have been the player that you'd have played at the false 9, but his attributes fit that role perfectly. So that's another one that's worked then. So as always, leave it down in the comments. Anybody else you would think would be as suitable for the false 9, and I'll look at giving them a go. But thanks for watching, stay safe, and I'll catch you later. Ta-ra.